The disciples were in a boat on the sea. The night was dark, and the storm was fierce. The small wooden boat rocked violently as the waves crashed against it. It was a dark and stormy night. Lightning flashed across the sky, illuminating the terrified faces of the disciples. Thunder roared, echoing the turmoil in their hearts. The waves were high and the wind was strong. The disciples were scared. The sea seemed to be a monstrous entity, intent on swallowing them whole. Each wave that hit the boat felt like a hammer blow. They had been sailing all night and they were tired. Their muscles ached from battling the storm and their eyes stung from the saltwater spray. They were exhausted, both physically and mentally. They just wanted to get to the other side of the lake. The distant shore seemed like a beacon of hope, but it felt impossibly far away. Every effort to steer the boat seemed futile against the relentless storm. The disciples had seen Jesus do many amazing things. They had witnessed his power and his compassion. They had seen him perform miracles that defied explanation. They had seen him heal the sick and feed the hungry. They had marveled at his ability to bring hope and healing to those in need. But they had never seen anything like this. The storm was unlike anything they had ever experienced, and their fear was palpable. They wondered if they would survive the night. Suddenly they saw something walking on the water. It was Jesus. He was coming towards them, walking on top of the waves. The disciples were terrified. They thought they were seeing a ghost. They cried out in fear. "It is I," Jesus said. "Do not be afraid." His voice calmed the storm. The disciples were amazed. They had never seen anything like it before. Peter, one of the disciples, called out to Jesus, who was walking on the water towards them. The storm was fierce and the waves were crashing against the boat, making it hard to see clearly. "Lord, if it is really you, tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," Jesus said. His voice was calm and reassuring, cutting through the noise of the storm. Peter climbed out of the boat and started walking towards Jesus. Each step was a mix of fear and faith as the water felt both solid and unstable beneath his feet. But when he saw how high the waves were, he became afraid and started to sink. The wind howled and the water seemed to pull him down with every passing second. "Lord, save me!" Peter cried. His voice was filled with desperation as he reached out towards Jesus, hoping for a miracle. Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught Peter. The grip was firm and strong, pulling Peter back from the brink of drowning. "You of little faith," he said. "Why did you doubt?" Jesus' words were gentle yet firm, a reminder of the power of faith even in the most turbulent times. Jesus and Peter climbed back into the boat, their clothes drenched from the storm. The wind howled and the waves crashed against the sides of the boat, but as soon as they stepped in, the storm immediately calmed. The sea became as smooth as glass, and the dark clouds parted to reveal a clear sky. The disciples were amazed and terrified. They had never seen anything like it before. Their hearts raced as they tried to comprehend what had just happened. They realized that Jesus had power over nature. This was not just a man, this was someone with divine authority. This miracle teaches us about faith. It shows us that no matter how chaotic our circumstances may be, there is a higher power at work. Even when we are afraid, when the storms of life seem overwhelming and we feel like we are sinking, we need to trust in Jesus. He is our anchor, our safe harbor in times of trouble. He will always be there for us, even when we doubt. His presence is a constant reminder that we are never alone. When we face storms in our lives, when everything seems to be falling apart and we are filled with fear, remember the miracle of Jesus walking on water. Remember how he defied the natural order to bring peace and calm. Remember his words, "Take courage." These words are not just for the disciples, they are for us too. It is I. Don't be afraid. In every storm, in every trial, let these words be your guide.